guys? How's it going?
What's up, Baller Nation?
How you guys doing? It's your boy.
We got over here.
Who the fuck are you?
My name is Card Games, but also Levi Thomas. I guess we'll go based off of real names here.
I'm Dr. B, but I'm just calling me Brandon.
And you can call me Shell. Shell.
Sheldon.
And
Anyway.
we're a bunch of melee fucks that also watch anime.
Yeah.
Surprising.
Shock.
I know, but we decided because we always after like melee tournaments we would go eat food and shit and just talk about anime, and we would have like our anime table. So we thought, why not bring this into like a podcast type of setting,
format,
and really get some use out of it, and not just blow smoke into the air. But so today we want to start off probably by just going over like shit that we've been watching recently. So does anyone want to start, or like just the most recent thing that you've been?
Yeah. I never actually finished Psycho Pass back when that first came out. I watched a little bit of it, and then I remember when you guys were watching it back here for a little while, I got to watching it again. But I never finished it until recently, and I finally watched it, and it was really good.
Psycho Pass season
Psycho
1
Pass was really good.
Season 2 is a meme.
Season 2 is a meme. Yeah, it's kind of depressing, honestly.
It just it tries to make up for like how shitty it gets, with just like a lot of gore and like fucking swerves that they try and implement, and they're just not good.
It's like not good, yeah.
And all the good characters are gone in season 2.
So yeah, it's kind of fucked. Other than that though, like I just been watching seasonal bullshit. Boku no Hero, fucking Classroom of the Elitists.
Classroom of the Elitists. So me and Doc are kind of anime veterans, I would say.
Yeah.
We've just watched a whole bunch of shit. Shell is kind of new to the game, so he gets the pleasure of like catching up and like watching all the shit that
pretty much everything we'll watch is new, even the older stuff we decide to talk about on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also hope that I can provide a different kind of perspective on these kind of things.
I definitely think that's
unlike
good.
You're a
taste
tainted. No, but you're
more cynical.
Yeah. Perhaps.
Yeah, so I'm watching anime since 2000 and whatever.
Should we real quick then, before we finish the like what we're watching now? Should we go into like anime background real quick?
Yeah, sure. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I can do that.
So I'll like go first. Basically, I always grew up with like anime. I watched shit like Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z, like all the like for kids type shit that was on Saturday mornings, and I didn't know it was like anime. It was just like a different looking cartoon, like you always watch like Dexter's Lab and you're like, this just looks different.
Yeah.
It has like a very distinct style, so I was just kind of drawn to it. And then my sister was like low-key weeb in high school, and like just like read manga and shoujo beat and all that shit.
Yeah.
And so she like introduced me to like some of the shit that was on it, like Toonami and just the stuff that was like easily available, because I feel like at that time anime was really hard to come by if you didn't have like high-speed internet. And even then like torrenting was garbage, so you can't really like find anything. And so we just watched like Inuyasha and like Bebop and just the shit that was on late nights. And so I always liked anime, and then there was a long period after that where like I really didn't fuck with it for like a while, and then I moved to California from Utah around my junior year, and then some of the friends that I made, they were like, hey, we're gonna watch Madoka, because it was like a meme online that they'd seen a bunch of Madoka shit. And so we went and watched that, and I was like, wow, that was really good. And we were like, it became like a competition for like our friend group to like find the next best thing.
Yeah.
And so that was just how I like really started churning, and then found just some like really, fucking heavy hitters like Anohana and shit. And I was like, the black hole was created at that moment.
Do you want to not give your top 5 or top 10 or anything, but just talk about some of your favorites?
Yeah. So I would say, the easiest thing would be to like do like a top 3, which I would put Anohana as my third. That was what I would refer to as my void anime, which is like the first. It's like when you get into this like business of like watching this garbage, like everyone has that first show that really gives them like, when you finish it, there's that feeling of like there's nothing that can replace that.
Yeah.
So that was on Ohana for me. So I have very strong connections to that show. Number 2 is Tatami Galaxy. I just love pretty much everything about that show. It has this like real cool storybook feel and just feels really different and unique. And then number 1 is Fooly Cooly. It's basically, if you could capture my aesthetic into like one show, it's Fooly Cooly. So that was probably my top 3. But I really enjoy like the Monogatari series.
Monogatari.
And just like a lot of different shit. But I mean, I have so much watched at this point that it's like, I don't know. I'm on the seasonal bandwagon now. I feel like once you watch all the old shit, you just go into the seasonal route, and you start watching all the new shit. But I've also, to kind of transfer into what I've been watching, I've been watching Classroom of the Elite this season, which is a meme, and it's really funny, and just interesting and like hype for some reason. And I've been watching just a bunch of leftovers from last season. And Boku no Hero, which is kind of a leftover too.
Yeah.
But yeah, mainly just the like normal shit. I think the only like underground show that I'm watching this season is Made in Abyss, which is like becoming less underground as people find out how heat it is.
I'm hearing more and more about that.
Yeah.
Because it's over now, right? I think.
I want to say it's on its last episode.
Yeah.
It's on like episode 10 or something right now, but there's like 11 or 12, so yeah.
I've been watching anime since like when I was like a kid. I had this friend named Wesley, and like he was like basically was like the one who was like super into like shonen and stuff. And I remember I was over at his house one night, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and Inuyasha was on the TV, and I was like, "Whoa, this is fucking sick! I don't know what this even is, but it's super sick looking." So it's kind of cool. And after that, I remember I actually have been before. Was that when Naruto first started running, my friend was like, "Dog, check out the show on Cartoon Network, bro. It's freaking, they got ninjas and shit." And I was just like, "Whoa, ninjas!
It's
crazy."
So different from everything. That's why anime like draws out.
Yeah, whoa, bro, this fucking ninjas! Whoa. And that was like my first like intro to anime. And after that, I just like watched like a lot of stuff like Bleach and like this stuff like that. For some reason, too, now early on, I watched a shocking amount of this like actual garbage of this like fucking ecchi bullshit and just like it was shown in the fucking like ecchi crap. But like after that, I got into more stuff that like I think Higurashi was the first show that really like started maybe turn me towards better shows and not just like shonen trash meme stuff. But yeah, I mean, after that it was all kind of downhill. And I remember distinctly watching anime all the time on our bus as he went to like basketball games and shit. Me and my friend just watch like Death Note or whatever. Yeah. And like they'll have like people on the bus be like, "Fucking nerds watching anime over in the corner watching cartoons." And then years later, that same person said, "Yo, dog, the Death Note show was fucking sick, bro." You know. Yeah. Years later,
people get converted. I feel like everyone. When people say I hate anime or like anime is like fucking stupid,
they just have this notion in their head of what anime is.
And it's such a like vast medium.
Yeah,
it's like there's like something for everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, my top 3 shits are. My number 3 spot is always kind of going back and forth. I feel like because sometimes I feel like it's like either Steins Gate or it's like this Death Note or whatever. But like it's one of those two. But then my number 2 is Baccano, and then my numero uno is Higurashi, which like in retrospect has a lot of flaws and stuff like that. But like overall, it's still the show that I care about more than any other show easily. Like as a cast of characters, I really care about. So I was like, I don't know.
It's a very unique concept and look to it as well.
Yeah, it was it was the first one to draw my attention that that was gas. You know,
It's one of those gas shows.
Those gas shows.
Yeah.
Before I start, I might stand up periodically and zoom in on Doc real quick because if I don't touch the camera for a while, I think it falls asleep. I haven't tried this, but I think if I keep zooming in every once in a while, it'll like wake it back up. Anyway, kind of like when you touch your phone. Anyway, so I haven't even been watching for a year, not even half a year.
Fresh, virgin.
I have watched a lot though, but basically, I was what they were talking about before, just completely oblivious to anime, you know. I never made fun of anime, but I actually just didn't know anything about it. Yeah. If you told me you watched anime, I just think like why? Like, why are you into that? That's weird. Because anything you see from anime, you know, you only see the bad stuff from the outside. You know, you don't see the goods. You don't see the good
stuff. Like toothbrush scene. And you're like, what is this?
If I had seen the toothbrush scene, I would have watched anime a long time ago. I don't know what you're talking about. But, yeah, no. But, yeah, I basically, it's mostly due to these, it's actually 100% due to these two that I started watching. Me and Doc have been friends for a really long time, or a while at least, and he's liked it. He's talked about it for a while, and I've been wanting to pick it up. I'd wanted to pick it up a long time before I did, but I just didn't know how to. And then Card Games over here really got that started.
It was like, all right, here's the plan. Here's a five-week plan.
I watched Death Note a while ago, but the first one I watched was Steins Gate. Then Fully Cooley, then Psycho Pass, and then so forth, so on and so forth. I haven't watched enough to really say I have a top 3. I mean, I don't know. I've watched upwards of 20 shows, but I wouldn't feel comfortable saying I have favorites right now or a favorite.
That stands out, or
but ones that do stand out are Fully Cooley and Baccano. I like Baccano a lot, and but Anohana is really good. I'm high on the Monogatari series right now. I can't get enough of that shit. It's too much. It's so good. But yeah, I loved Cowboy Bebop a lot. It was really I feel like that's probably the best first anime you could watch. Honestly, it's so because you can watch it dubbed because the dub is really good, and it's made almost in the same way an American show is made, where or a lot of American shows are made, where each episode is its own story. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty into it. Lately, I've been watching a lot. I'm watching Code Geass.
You can't not call it Code Geass.
I call it. That's all I call it. I'm on season 2 right now. I watched season 1, and it was good. There were just a lot of dumb things, but I can excuse it. I feel like season 2 is probably better, or going to be. It jumped into it, and I don't know.
I would say it's better.
And then I watched Sound Euphonium, which is also one of my favorites so far. I give that a 9.
I think that's the first show that you've seen that I have not seen.
Yeah, ever since I started anime, I've wanted to watch that, but I've mostly been sticking to things that you've seen. Then I downloaded that and watched it, and that's one of my favorites so far. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
So just a few standouts in there. Hearing you talk about it makes me feel like a proud father.
It makes me feel like a worthy son. not like the outsider son that watched anime and went away.
Yeah,
being a villain. Anyway, not to burn, but we do have a topic today, a subject, something very recent. Ironically, our very first episode will not be about an anime per se, but I still think it needs to be talked about. It belongs on an anime podcast because we are talking about Netflix's not original series, Death Note.
All the people that make life miserable, make life dangerous. What if we can change things?
Death Note, right? Which is funny because it's kind of at this point kind of an overplayed thing at this point. More like discussing it, talking reasons why Death Note sucks, the reason why it's amazing,
Yeah.
But it's fun to talk about though.
It's definitely been played out in especially the anime community because the reason it belongs on is obviously...
we're gonna do spoilers, by the way.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
So every episode's gonna be spoiler.
In advance, please watch the movie so you can understand what we're talking about.
Read the title, watch the movie.
But basically it has this weird place in the community because Death Note when it came out was such a phenomenon. It was so strange that it caught on as well as it did in the West. Not strange, but it caught on super well in the West, which is one of the first anime to do that. Yeah. And so it has this really strange place in the anime community's heart of this is the gateway. I still to this day, for most people that are trying to get into anime, I haven't watched Death Note just because it shows how good it can be.
Yeah.
And some of the pitfalls of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it has this like strange place, and people are very protective of it, and for a lot of people, it was their gateway show. Yeah. And so then this movie comes out. It's like the main problem that I have with it is just that it doesn't know what it wants to be. Like it has this like sense of, oh, look at all this homage to like the series where it's like Elle's eating candy. There's the fucking Death Note. Ryuki is eating apples, all this shit. Yeah. But it has, at the same time, it has like all of the things that made the series good are not in the movie, like at all. Like it's so like at odds with itself because it wants to be like this new thing and an adaptation, like a close adaptation at the same time, and it's like
And I feel like a lot of us are from the perspective that like we're not even like. Personally, I'm not upset about the movie. I think it's fucking hilarious. Probably the best comedy of the year, personally. But like,
I've not laughed so hard watching a movie.
But it's like it's such a bad movie, and like people a lot of times are being like, "It's not bad. It's a bad adaptation, but it's different." So it's not. But it's like, I don't care how well. I mean, like, sure, shows can be faithful to adaptation and like be good that way, but there's other shows that can be different and still be good. This movie's just ass. This sucks. Like it's just not like it's a bad adaptation and it's also a bad movie, which is like if it was a bad adaptation but a good movie, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, okay, it's cool. They did their own thing or whatever. Yeah. But the show was just like it is so memeable. Like we literally were like making jokes about stuff happening and it would happen. It happens. That's we'd be like, oh, dog, this is gonna happen, bro. He's gonna do this. That's gonna happen, and like it happened. Like, oh my god.
Roughly 50% of the plot we called out as a meme, as a joke. It happened.
It's just saying the most obvious thing that could possibly happen. Yeah. He's gonna do this. Oh, he did it. It's the first thing that could possibly.
Oh, first, well, Death Note falls out. The page falls into the fire. The girl falls out and dies. He falls in the water and lives. Some guy pulls him out and he lives. And
this prostitute comes and sucks my dick. The fucking mind control aspect of
you're going to be under my control for 2 days. You're going to go out of the country.
Give me a call. Call me at 3 p.m. Give me an update.
But that piggybacking off of kind of what you guys were saying, it did not have to do exactly what the series did. Yeah. It if it just took ideas from it and the characters and made its own kind of because there's so much you can do with it. You don't have to be confined. But that's the thing. They looked at the series and took just the base elements. They're just super basic. There's a Death Note, and it's from a guy named Ryuk, or at least a guy named Ryuk. A monster gives it to Light, and Light kills people. And there's a guy named L, and L tries to stop Light. And that's it. And everything else, from who the characters were was completely inaccurate. Just the Death Note itself was completely like. It just was not explained.
It was like it was like the director, Adam Weingart, I think. It was like he just caught on to like a few things as he was like skimming through the series and was like, okay, apples, candy, there's rules. Shit, he mind controlled that guy. That's cool. I'm gonna use that. And like it was just like he just caught on to like a few things that stood out to him, and then just tried to like jam those into like a shitty teen flick. And it was just so bad.
That's another thing I want to talk about is Adam Weingart and his movies, his history. Yeah. So if you look at his movies, it becomes a lot more apparent why Death Note was the way it was. And he's basically strictly a horror movie director. Yes. You got the new Blair Witch.
Yes, don't give him credit for the old
VHS 2, not VHS 1. VHS 2. I can't even.
People point to like
Godzilla versus Kong.
People point to he has like two movies that are like apparently okay.
These are all just horror movies that I've never heard of. VHS was a movie I watched that I thought was like, all right. He's got The Guest, which is a bad movie.
Also, there's Final Destination, Destination 2.
So if you watch Death Note, it really is. It has such shitty like special effects. It focuses on the death of it.
These are fucking people that evolved from watermelons. Like it's like a Gallagher show. Every death in this, like. The kid, if you get hit in the head, like
the fucking ladder.
The ladder is...
It won't cut through, like, a fucking watermelon.
Even if the ladder's going at, like, 30, 40 miles per hour, it would knock you the fuck out and maybe, like, break your skull or something. But, like, it's not gonna fucking...
decapitate your
whole head. It's a step. It's a flat surface. There's, like, there's no point in which...
Yeah, and there's someone...
especially a clean cut.
It's not fast enough speed to, like, just...
Yeah, there was like a residential. Down. It's not even like on a highway or some shit.
No,
where
it's
just
like
80 miles per hour.
It's like minimum miles per hour, like driving on the street.
That's enough. In the show, it was simple about it. He kills by heart attacks, you know, and that's like his insignia. That's what he does.
He kills by heart attacks, and he only kills people differently, like in certain situations.
This is like he just kills people like everyone in the fucking stripper club will shoot each other and massacre each other. But somehow, and like not shit. And then they're like, but Elle figures it out that this is all. I guess he says that it's Kira and everything, but it's like there's just no. Wouldn't it have been so much simpler and cooler if he just killed everyone the same way?
Yeah, like and the fact that too, the thing I think is really funny too was the thing about fucking Watery. Was the fact that like even so he would be like, oh no, it's just a different adaptation. This was actually bad movie like writing in and of itself, because in the beginning of the movie it says you need a name and a face to kill someone. So there's Watery, okay, and he writes down Watery's name after he sees his face and he kills Watery. Okay, how does that happen if Watery is not even his name? Yeah. Watery is a code name. It's not even his real name.
It has been, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise...
He didn't even see Watery, right? His dad just told him his name.
Yeah, I like how he also has just one name, like Cher. Like, he's like, I am Watery.
Yeah. I am Watery. I have no last name, so I'll just...
Maybe he did see his face somewhere, but I don't remember.
But even then, it's like, you can't just kill someone with a freaking code name. That's like an actual name. Like,
yeah. Oh, man.
That's so funny.
And I think, but the most... is just ridiculous part of the show is Light and his relationship with
Mia.
Light Turner and
Light
his
Turner,
relationship with Mia, important. Not Misa. Don't get it confused.
Mia Sutton.
Yeah. How do you feel about her?
I was boned out for this chick the entire film. She's like a Hot Topic manager, and I was really into it.
She was a full gother.
That being said, yeah, she was one of those goths that's like just kind of like she had this sort of like Aubrey Plaza vibe the whole time, and I was really
that's a pretty good comparison.
Digging it. That being said, she's a shitty character.
Yeah.
Like me having a boner when she's on screen has nothing to do with the fact that like the character's written like garbage. She's the most we should just go like down the list of characters real quick, I think.
Do you want to?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let me get on IMDb real quick, just so we don't miss it.
Yeah, and also like if I keep looking at my phones, I wrote down a whole bunch of notes. We won't get to all of these, but like
shit.
There's so much shit that went on that I was just like making mental notes of and like transcribed them later.
All right. So Light Turner is the first character, played by Nat Wolff, who I have not seen in anything else. I am quite a movie head.
You ever saw Fault in Our Stars?
Oh, I did see Fault in Our Stars. So I'm right. I'm quite a movie head, which is probably
Paper Towns, not
or Paper Towns. I saw both. Paper Towns was bad. But anyway, Light Turner. I thought he was terrible. He was probably the worst part of the show, honestly.
Like this kid, you cannot get a good take out of this fucking actor. Like he's like smiling while he screams.
Yeah.
Like all the like in that scene where he's supposed to be, he's like like he's having a good time. I couldn't like he's like that's crazy. I'm so spooked. Like he's in a fucking haunted house.
It's a lot of the actors in this is like they're not that bad. They don't do that bad at acting. But their characters were written horribly. The problem with Light is that not only was his character written horribly, he acted terrible acting. It was just unbelievable at every step of the way.
And again, with this the main problem of the film, they take all of what was interesting about Light in the show, like in the anime, and they make it like they just turn him into like Light in the anime is like a fucking Giga Chad.
He's a genius.
He's a genius. He's a tennis star.
No emotion. I mean, very little emotion.
He's a sociopath.
Yeah, I remember the episode when he calls the girl on a date or texts the girl, and she's like, "Oh, it's Light Turner."
He blows her load over this, and and like goes out on this date, and he's like, "No, I'm just using you to like fucking kill Ray Pember." Like it's so wild how like good and interesting that character is, even though he's a piece of shit. Like objectively. Light Turner is a fucking homework dealer, a school shooter. Like he's
at least make him like obviously genius, like smart.
Like again, like it doesn't have to be faithful to the fucking anime,
right?
But at least substitute something that's good and like worthwhile like watching. But he is the most fucking beta Peter Parker wannabe fucking kid who's just like this fucking uninteresting,
Ryuk is the Green
boring ass like. Ryuk is a good goblin, literally.
Yeah.
But, like he literally does not want to. He's so like
I'll defend his.
He literally, like, everything he does is so just like, this is such a fucking unlikable, and unlikable, poorly written, just so dull character. It's not.
They try to have their cake and eat it too, where it's like they want him to be like the smart, like the only indication we get that he's smart is that he's a homework dealer, and he's like. And the end thing, like the final gambit that he fucking writes.
Which is not, though.
A novel
it's so just like...
It's just me making up this fantasy in my head, and it happens. There's no logic behind it. Yeah. There will be a barrel of fire, and this paper will fall in it. And I will be saved.
By a fucking
by Fisherman Joe.
Fisherman Joe, yeah.
He's a pedophile, though. It's okay.
So he'll die. That's fine.
It's fine.
But his motivation too was probably his biggest problem, one of his biggest problems. Whereas in the anime, his motivation is pretty clear. You know, like Light is a really smart guy, and you know he sees what's wrong with the world. You know, and he has the power to stop it.
Judgment.
You know, he believes that he is an objective person, and he can make the world a better place.
Yeah.
But in this, like, he never says why he's doing anything. The only thing that indicates the origin of his, you know, motivation is Mia and pussy.
Yes.
That's the only way, is him wanting to get with Mia. But
Puss is a big driver in this film.
We should really wait to get to the puss part till we get to her.
Yeah.
Next character. Did you want to talk about Light anymore?
Let me scroll down my notes real quick and see if I have any particular Light notes.
Light Turner.
Oh, another example of him being like super inconsistent is like when he gets the Death Note, which I hate how they just drop it at his feet. Because in the anime, the Death Note just comes down randomly, and he notices it while he's in class, and he's like, "Huh," and he goes and gets it.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it was meant to be Light.
No, it's
Ryuk just dropped it. Like whatever happens,
let's see what happens.
In this, he literally like fucking drops it in his lap. Like he fucking slams it. Like that's for you, bitch.
It's destiny.
Take it.
Pull it up. But like, so he's like a pussy. He's like screaming. He sees Ryuk, which also, like, Light in the anime is, like, super chill. Like, he scares Ryuk.
He gets scared by Ryuk for, like, a split second.
Constantly surprised.
He sees Ryuk in the corner and goes, "What the f-" And then, but then afterwards, he composes himself, like, super quickly and just like, "Oh, yeah, okay."
But so he's, like, this super puss. He's, like, screaming, doing this dumb, like, fucking horror movie take. And then he's like, "Try it out, Light." And then like he like immediately goes from like 100% beta cuck mode into I'm gonna decapitate this bully.
Yeah, literally. Like it happens so fast. It's actually crazy.
I don't think you can just write their name in this movie though. I think you have to write how they're gonna die, which is stupid.
No, I think
he says it's dealer's choice if he doesn't write what goes on, and that which means Ryuk gets to do whatever. I guess.
Why does Ryuk have any power in this?
Yeah, Ryuk is so. I don't know what to talk about later, but like.
All right, next is L, played by Lakeith Stanfield. I think Lakeith. I'll say that L, or at least the actor who played L was written really bad, but the actor was not that bad. I liked how he kind of portrayed him right at first.
Yeah, at first started kind of good.
The farther we got into the movie, as the character, they wrote the character, you know, clearly wrong, and the character just started doing stupid stuff. You know, his acting kind of, it didn't get bad, but it really, like, it got dramatic, and y'all want to talk about L?
Yeah, the only thing I would say that was, like, good about L's character is the character design.
Yeah.
Cool. I thought that was, like, a good take on, like, if you're going to make L different in any sort of way, I like the whole, like, I don't know, the like, turtleneck shit. All black and turtleneck and all that. It looked pretty cool.
Cool design, yeah.
But they take the, like, certain parts of L, it's like Weingart saw like certain clips that like stood out to him, and like in particular the ones where like L is a little bit like not composed, where he screams when he finds out about Shinigami or whatever in the show, like, and like just kind of played into that where he seems so fucking unstable in this movie.
Yeah, he seems like he's about to fucking
like at all times he's about to like fucking
and like
kill.
Like moves aren't like what he's doing isn't calculated and thought out. It's like to grab a gun, I'm going to steal the cop's car and I'm going to go get him.
Yeah, like once Wataru fucking eats the dust. Like he just like it's over. He goes off. He's not even L anymore. He just becomes this like fucking psycho like.
I guess supposed to be implied that he was like
cop on the edge. Loose cannon cop.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, that's L.
Mm-hmm. There's not too much to say about.
There's not too much to say. He hasn't been in much either.
Yeah.
Next, Mia Sutton, played by Margaret Qualley.
Mia Khalifa.
She was in The Nice Guys, which I saw, but I don't remember her. So I don't have anything about her either.
Oh, she was the fucking.
Was she the daughter?
She's the daughter of the lady in the.
That's a good movie, by the way. I like that.
She was the one that like did the porno or whatever for.
Yeah,
that movie's making me
was good, man. Yeah, Nice Guys is good, but anyways, not about the Nice Guys. Mia's character is like. What stood out to me is how fucking like bloodthirsty she is. Like she's actually like
she gets turned on by like
killing. She like
she's a motivation.
Within like 2 seconds of him being like, first of all, he immediately uses the death note to get puss. Like he does not care about. He blows his cover to Mia. She like she shows up to him in gym class, and he's like on a bench.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, did you hear about that fuck that died?" And he's like, "Yeah." Yeah. And he's like, "Okay." And then he's like, "Oh, by the way, I killed him, and I killed all these other people, and I'm gonna show you how I did it." And within like 10 minutes, he shows her that he fucking can kill people with the death note. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Kira, I'm the man."
In a stupid way, too.
Within 3 hours of them talking once, because they have not met each other up to this point. Within 3 hours of them talking once, she's fucking boning him because she's like, he can kill people with a book.
Yeah, they literally fuck like in the first like.
Are all high school girls like to have this secret desire to just fucking
kill society, just kill them all?
Like, she obviously doesn't seem to like regular society, but she's like a cheerleader and like fucking, I don't know. But
that never made sense too. Like her smoking as a cheerleader and clearly just not being a part of them.
Yeah.
Why would you be a cheerleader?
I don't know. But
it's just a little thing. But
the other thing is they are boning. There's like a boning montage.
Literally,
where like
sex club.
They start having sex and just killing people in between, like a fucking like if you've seen the movie Crash, where people get off on like car crashes. It's like that, but it's like they're just like constantly like fucking like, oh, let's kill fucking Kim Jong Un's analog and then like bone after fucking finger blaster. It's so dumb, and also Ryuk is there watching.
Yeah,
you have to understand this. Ryuk is watching them like, he's just in the closet like, humans are so interesting.
Humans are so.
You humans are so interesting.
God, oh man.
Like, and also they take away the thing where like if you touch the death note you can see Ryuk, which I don't know why they did that. It didn't make any difference in the movie at all.
Yeah, it was like. I think the ownership, the team, ownership of it, whatever. So
yeah, but like, so Light's the only one that can see this fucking demon in the corner of his room while he's like banging his girlfriend, and I just think that'd be really funny. But I was eating apples and just watching. Fuck.
They really overused that meme so much. Yeah. There were just apple cores everywhere. I get it.
The other thing is that's like in the show with the apples, it's like. Ryuk just discovers apples. Like he doesn't have he hasn't had an apple before. He eats it.
Well, he had apples in the Shinigami world, and he tastes like fucking ass or whatever. He tastes like fucking ass.
What they would call apples.
Yeah, and like, but his mom, like Light's mom, just brings some into his room and is like, "Hey, the neighbors gave us these," and he's like, "Sure, thanks," and he like puts them down, and Ryuk just starts eating them, and he's like, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah. The only point that the apples really have a bigger significance than that is is when Light's house is wiretapped. And so they had cameras all over the house, so Ryuk can't eat apples, otherwise they'll see the apple floating in the air.
Yeah.
And, like,
so it actually even plays a point in the plot.
Yeah, I think there's a point in the plot at a certain point in the
in the movie, he literally just walks into his room and fucking rolls an apple to. He's like, "You'll like an apple."
Here you go. Here, have it.
They could have never done something. They could have never done something as meticulous and like detailed as that. That scene from the anime and the movie. There was no way.
No.
It's a floating apple.
God.
Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, that's as much as I have to say about her character.
Yeah.
She's just like a fucking freak.
She's a freak.
Two other characters really that matter. Well, this guy doesn't matter as much.
Who?
James Turner, his dad.
James was like whatever. He's like he wasn't
a bad character. It's just like the only thing that stood out to me about that is like, so at this point in the story, James Turner is the lead detective on the Kira case, which makes zero sense because everyone and their mother, except for Elle, thinks that Light is in Japan, or Kira's in Japan.
Yeah.
So why would they give it to some fucking like rando beat cop in Seattle? Like, why is he the lead investigator on this shit? Like, does that make?
It's just weird that like, yeah, they don't. There's no crimes at least told to us about in Seattle or anything.
There was that one part where he's like, I think it happened where Elle's like, I think that Kira is in Seattle, but I remember that was before.
That was after
he's already
because he's already the main because that's when Elle meets his dad and he's already the main investigator. He's like, I need to work with you because I know where the Kira is not actually. Surprise, surprise! He's not actually in Japan, which is where you're not even stationed or have no jurisdiction at all. He's actually here in Seattle. What a fucking trip!
I just thought about something else. Is how in the anime, Light really wanted to be like a police officer. Like, I totally forgot about that. And how he wanted to follow in his dad's footsteps. He, like, admired his dad. And, like, everyone admired his dad. Like,
and
his dad had this whole team behind him, right? Like, they all liked him. But in this, it's like, he's a joke for some reason.
Yeah.
He's a joke. And the relationship with his son, with Light, is terrible. Like, Light hates him. Because he thinks his dad's a pussy for letting his mom's murderer go. Which...
That's not his fault.
It was just for whatever reason, but his mom had to be dead. Like, I don't know why.
Because
they had to add that in. I guess they had to make it darker.
I gotta sympathize with him, dude. Oh,
yeah, that's the other thing.
Bullied, his mom's dead. Oh,
to make you like that's the like classic like westernized thing.
Western
like,
bullshit. Yeah.
To make you sympathize with the character, they make him like super down on his luck.
The thing in Death Note, you don't sympathize with them. You're supposed to like choose a side because they're both. Because Elle and Light in the anime are both Chads and they're intelligent and it's like
both fight for their own sense of justice or whatever.
And it's like really cool. It's like it's not sympathizing or feeling for a character. In the anime I like Light more, and it's not because I think Light is necessarily right or I sympathize with them. Or like, yeah, you should kill everyone. Yeah. It's just like the way he goes about everything he does is so cool, you know.
Yeah.
But in this, it's like feel bad for him. He's a sad kid.
He's a fucking babe.
Anyway, last character to really talk about. We've already been talking about. With every character. Ryuk. Played by Willem Dafoe.
I couldn't fucking stand Ryuk.
Can I say that I thought they actually nailed the voice.
The voice is good. The voice is good. Willem Dafoe was
great.
That was good.
And they clearly they did this horror thing where they added like a filter where everything was darker.
Yeah.
You know,
so
they do that with a lot of shitty movies. And because they knew that Ryuk, despite Ryuk looking like shit, they hit it really well.
Yeah, that was good.
And he can't look bad. As far as the character...
Holy fucking shitty writing, Batman. Seriously. His writing was so ass. It was like... Okay, so let's look at it from like an adaptation standpoint. Mm-hmm. So, because I'll talk about why it's bad adaptation and bad movie writing in this fucking character. Because adaptation-wise, it's like, okay, in anime... You can fucking sit back and just watch it, and it's just sort of like he's really.
It's like chaotic neutral.
He's not neutral. He never really interferes. Once he ever interferes, he's like, okay, I'll follow your plan this one time, but like it's not really the plan. It's just, I mean, he follows it because like literally it's him saying, hey, take the Death Note and just fucking go away. And he works out this whole plan or whatever, and like Ryuk just never really gets in the way. Is never actively like, yeah, fucking kill him. But in this, Ryuk is so fucking just like, are you really gonna sit here and talk about rules? They're really worried about the fucking rules. Let's fucking kill him. Let's fucking just kill him. Let's fucking just end the ball right now. Let's fucking pull a trigger and kill him, okay? But like, it literally is just so much of that. And his character is so this like a dickhead. It's like Ryuko's actually a dick.
And I feel like Ryuk's there in the wrong times, and he's absent in the right the wrong times too.
That's the other thing.
Like, why isn't he there?
And like, so like, even beyond just adaptation and shit, like as a character, he's just like so fucking pointless. He's just like a.
My theory is that I think that Adam Weingart watched it and thought Ryuk was a bad guy just because he looked scary.
Yeah.
I don't think he paid attention at all to the character. I think he was just like, this guy's like a demon, so he's bad.
The whole concept of Shinigami and who they were and why there are Death Notes is not explained at all. I feel like it would have been really easy to say, we are Shinigami, the gods of death, and when people die, it's because we write their names. We know when they're gonna die. Yeah. Like that's what it is, and we, so we're basically responsible for when people die, and we have given you basically the power that we have. Like that's all I had to say. But I can't imagine watching this movie as someone who hadn't seen the anime.
He comes out of nowhere. He fucking comes out of nowhere. He doesn't explain shit about anything. He's just this fucking ugly looking guy in the darkness, and he's like, "Hey, fucking drop this book right in front of your feet. Grab that shit. All right, here we go. Kill the guy. Let's take the guy outside. Fucking kill him. Let's fucking end his whole life. Watch his family cry at his fucking funeral.
Didn't that guy interesting? Didn't that guy fucking punch you about 2 days ago? Let's kill him.
Hey, you ate Kenny, right? Let's kill Kenny.
Kill him.
And the way that the fucking deaths in this are like so
the funniest shit, dude.
They're so like lull-inducing, just because like even the simplest shit, like Light literally just writes decapitation. And it's not like he just gets fucking decapitated by like a power wire falls over and decapitates him, which would make sense.
It's fucking cars.
It starts off with a lady fucking dropping her groceries. A basketball bounces off the apple. The apple rolls into the street. The kid runs into the street to chase the basketball. The car swerves. That makes another car swerve. That car swerves. Actually, a pole, and then the ladder comes off and decapitates.
That's not even the dumbest one. The dumbest one is how they kill the mom's killer. And what is it? Like a waiter?
Someone drops like a lemon.
They drop a lemon. And he's going to eat his steak.
It's like a domino effect. Like he knocks into like 5 other fucks that like knock him into his own life.
Oh, man.
It's so funny.
I think the worst deaths. That one.
There's like Rube Goldberg ass deaths.
Yeah, the one at the restaurant was definitely the dumbest, but the one that looked the worst had to be the guy who got ran over by the car.
Oh yeah,
and just completely
salutes and then gets fucking hits and fucking explodes.
Turns
like
to mush.
Going like 35, 40 miles per hour. Gone. This guy's
also
dead.
Why I just love the setup for that one, because it's like these deaths have to be plausible. They have to like make some amount of sense within the context. There's a fucking police standoff wall. Like they have like fucking everything walled off around the building because it's like a hostage situation, and they're just some random ass police vehicle going like 50 down
where no one saw it. It just.
Like they're like it was like some guy was like in the police wall and like saw him like walking out. He's like, I'm gonna get him, and just like fucking
this blast.
But that's the thing. He didn't write a police officer run him over. He runs out, gets ran over.
Yeah, gets run over. It happens to be a police officer that's like driving by. But he turns to fucking. That's like every death is like a fucking Gallagher show. Like it's just a watermelon. Like everyone needs like fucking
slow-mo guys, fucking slow-mo guys, slow motion.
It really is slow-mo guy. Oh man.
But yeah, like you can tell, like Adam Wingard, that's like his like shitty like low budget like horror roots, where he's like, this is how I'm gonna make up for this movie being shitty. Is they're just gonna have some deaths to talk about.
That dark filter.
Because it does. The first one especially comes out of left field. You're like, holy shit, I was not expecting it to be that gruesome.
I didn't think
and then
they'd
after
show
that,
it.
you're just like, God, all right.
God damn.
The movie currently has a Metascore of 43. What do you think about that?
Well deserved.
I think that's pretty appropriate. That's a good spot because I feel like there's like the combination of both it's just a shit movie, you know, and it's also there's the fact that it's also a good comedy. So you know, kind of for that, you know, and then also the fact that people.
I give it a point for comedy.
Of course, also people who just fucking watch it and who are like, I heard just like fucking these dumb kids on the internet who go, bro, all right, listen, I'm gonna be contrarian for the sake of being contrarian, okay? And let's just say, all right, fucker, top 10 reasons why that movie is actually better than the original.
Yeah,
like in every single way possible. Number 1, Light is fucking relatable. Number 2, Ryuk is a great villain. It's just like bullshit. Like, nah, dog, this writing's just bad, bro.
It's just really hard to justify anything good about this. But like, also, I think the most egregious problem in my and like with like I think it's the most like clear like depiction of like why Adam Wingard just didn't understand Death Note is the fucking mind control aspect of it all. Yeah, like because in the show
he overextends it way more than actually is in the
show. At his most, he'll have someone like write some shit on a wall, or he'll like have a character like go and kill herself on a bridge.
He had the hijacking.
Yeah,
shit.
I was gonna say the only thing that had any kind of similarity, but
was done better. Even though it was done better than that.
But Light wrote it really specifically. Yeah. But it was the hijacking one where he's like, you'll go and hijack this bus, and then you'll see a creepy figure, and then you'll get ran over.
Yeah, because the whole thing was he wanted to test and
see. But
he
wrote it really clearly.
Yeah, he wanted to see how much they actually can control them before they die. Yeah. And so he does all the tests, and then people in prison maybe some write shit on the walls, and like sees what they can and can't write. Like obviously can't write Light's name. I mean, they can't write L's name. Yeah, he does a real fair amount of testing. Because they don't know L's name and shit. So like it's all that, and then it's like the bus scene where it's like, okay, you gotta hijack a bus, and then ends up being run over by a car. But there's also in between shit of like okay, he has this fucking note, and then he drops the note that has, and he guy picks up,
like, what is it?
Up and sees Ryuk, because no, just like this is fucking just like plans like fucking dinner plans that he's going on a date with, and so like the guy just like starts shooting at Ryuk because he sees Ryuk because he's like he got a fucking note or whatever.
Yeah.
Starts shooting at Ryuk and then freaks out and like runs out of the fucking bus and his fucking mollywop like a watermelon.
But it's like because the other thing is like in the show it's like how long it's like 10 or 15 minutes or something that you can control him for. Yeah. And it's like just like very like limited. Yeah, in this it's fucking 2 days.
Yeah,
of straight mind control.
But and not only that, it's not like in the show it's like even if it's 15 minutes or whatever, you're telling them everything they're doing. But in the movie, it's like he's under your control. So if I call you and ask you about shit, just ask you're gonna tell me.
It's not,
you're under my mind control.
It's not even the bad adaptation of the fucking rules. It's the fact that even in and of itself, even as its own standalone movie rules and standalone movie bullshit, it breaks its own fucking rules. And it's like literal mind control of literally just like, I'm calling you now. Okay, you're gonna tell me this and this, blah 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 blah. Okay, we'll call you again in a couple hours. Okay,
I'm almost at the super detective orphanage.
Super, yeah. I forgot all about that shit. Oh my god, the orphanage that's like fucking run down, even though it's not that old. Like it's just completely destroyed and there's fucking secretive CIA files on the bottom of the
in the manga, or like the manga, which then translates to the show. L was like an orphan who Wataru found, and then he took him, and it's like a school for special kids, like a school for like gifted children. It's not a fucking super detective building agency. That's like it's so bad. Like to say that it's like everyone here is a fucking everyone that graduates this fucking school is a super detective.
So unnecessary.
Where are the other fucking super detectives? Why aren't they? Why
are they not helping him? What the fuck?
League of Child Super Detectives.
Yeah, League of Superheroes.
And like, so they only train you to be a fucking super detective, apparently. Also, apparently, it shut down immediately after L left. Because that shit is
so fucking run down.
It's run down like it was like an insane asylum from the 50s. Like it's like dusty. Everything's fucked.
Flooded. It's
flooded. Like no one's been taking care. They just left the building there.
And that's the thing. Like the super secret government project.
Yeah.
They left the files there.
They left all the files in the building.
Yeah.
They didn't burn them. They didn't take them.
L's name is. Also, I love how Wataru fucking dies so funny to me. Oh, they see people come inside and they just fucking kill him on accident. Like
they just don't even know who he is.
Because they're fucking looking for water. Like that's the whole thing. Is that there were fucking people that else sent out to look for water. And then literally they see just bring him down.
So why couldn't Light write, figure out his name, and then kill yourself? Yeah. Like, couldn't you just write that? Why do you have to be like 2 days to do it? All right, let's go. I don't know if you're gonna stay in these stupid rules that you created.
You fucking break yourself, like literally. Yeah, you could just do that.
Why couldn't you just do something a little cooler?
Break your own damn rule.
I think one of the worst scenes we didn't really touch on. We kind of
Ferris wheel.
Probably the worst scene is the Ferris wheel.
That's a fucking good.
And then what follows after that? It's basically
the chasing.
The fucking chase. The fucking hour-long chasing.
Just to recap the last little bit.
Matt Haas.
I just want to talk about the whole last little bit. I'll just narrate what happens, okay? Basically, L's gone off the deep end.
Yes.
So he pulls out the most swag gun in 2017.
It's a fucking like Jetsons.
This gun that is not fucking.
Literally,
it
literally is that gun from Fallout New Vegas. Literally, it's like that gun.
If L wanted to take a gun and shoot Light, all right, he had to take fucking Han Solo's blaster. He had to hijack this police officer's.
It looks like a toy. It's stupid.
It looks bad. Yes. And then he and Light engage in this chase scene.
Yeah. Suddenly,
back alley.
Suddenly the show turns into like some fucking cyberpunk shit. And he has this fucking super cyber gun bullshit. Mm-hmm. He's running through this fucking this futuristic music is playing in the background, and it's just like this
techno ass.
Yeah. The one good thing they did in this movie was the visuals. The color shit, so like a lot of the shots were actually really good, but especially during the chasing and all that stuff.
There's some interesting cut shots.
Some good cut shots with like some good color like shit, but like that chase scene is so complicated, and it's just like they went through the fucking diner, they went through the fucking kitchen,
just to get more neon in the shot too.
Yeah, that's why they get more neon in the shot. They went through a diner and then the kitchen.
Real quick though, just to cut you off. I also love the meme in this movie of people just fucking wiping tables clear.
Oh,
shit. It happens like if you drink every time,
such a weird
they
thing.
wipe tables clear. Like fucking Elle comes into his house, his fucking Tim Burton ass house, and like
and that's the thing about Elle.
He does it to a book. He does it to fucking the whole diner. Like everything just gets wiped.
Elle's so calm and like he's staying still. He's like. He just does his little thing, but and he swipes off and in a public coffee place.
Yeah,
he swipes off everything. Everyone looks. What?
He's fucking like he's running on the diner like for no reason at all, running on the fucking like top of the diner thing and like kicking people's fucking deli sandwiches off. It's so funny. I don't know why.
That one guy's face gets pushed into his fucking food or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, whoa! Like, it's like a comedy scene. Like it's so fucking weird. Like why would you do this? But it is like a straight up Matt Haas fucking just parkour techno chase scene. And so that leads into... So, by the way, also, preceding the chase, Light's dad makes a call to, like, all police officers, and he's like, Elle is the bad guy. I need my son safe. If you find Elle, like, fucking on site.
Blast him.
Fucking on site.
Put a trigger on it.
And like, Elle goes, like, steals a police car, and so is assumably, like, armed and dangerous, chases Light this whole way. Light gets away from him, like, far enough. It goes to like a Ferris, like a carnival with fucking Mia, and then like Elle shows up in a police vehicle and gets out. Like they were just chasing him to kill him, and he's just like no, I'm it's Light's Kira or some shit.
Okay, yeah, cool,
and they were just like, oh yeah, cool, get in. Like it's so horrible. And also how after I love how like Light's dad is such a bad fucking cop. Even after the whole, like, Elle's chasing him and is like, Light is Kira, everyone believes Light is Kira. He fucking holds a carny at gunpoint. Like does shit that's so fucking suspicious. The only thing that changes his mind is he finds the newspaper in Light's room.
That's
I'm like,
what convinced you?
It makes sense now.
Not that, Light was like, obsessed with his mom's killer before. How is he the lead
detective on, like, the biggest case in the world?
Also, really fast, one thing I just remembered was the fucking fact that they had Kira be this fucking praised ass like shit because that happens in the anime, but that's like, literally like at this point Kira has only killed like a few hundred people. Like literally has not killed like
brutally.
He's brutally gruesomely killed like a few hundred people. And like something was like, oh, it's fucking Kira. This guy's name is Kira. Okay, yeah, he's Kira. Yeah, I was like Kira. Okay, yeah, Kira, my boy Kira. But like in anime, it takes him like to kill like thousands of fuckers. People realize I'm like, okay, yeah, these are like some real shit happening, and people are being like, oh, my fucking daddy Kira, please, daddy, let me suck your dick. Please, not my
Kira saves.
Kira saves.
Yeah, I love that. Anyway, after all, and we can't forget going on that after the chase scene, they confront. Elle finally catches up with Light.
Yeah,
he has him at gunpoint.
Yes. Yeah.
He has him at gunpoint,
a
guy comes out. He says, "Hey, don't worry. This guy's Kira. I'm taking him into custody. I got him."
And the guy goes.
And the guy knocks out this random guy from Seattle.
Don't move. Do not move. This man is Kira. I'm working with law enforcement in order to capture and eliminate.
Kira.
I think it would have been funny if they swerved and it was like a race thing. Like he was actually mugging him.
He's like fucking black people.
That honestly would have been more believable. That would have been so much more believable.
Yeah, I'm just like,
you're Kira.
You're Kira?
Dog, add a political statement.
I love your work, dog. We're so good to love you, dog.
But anyway, transition to the next, probably the most exciting scene. Light, for whatever reason, chooses to go with his girlfriend to the carnival for their escape. He has his gat. He threatens the Ferris wheel operator at gunpoint to get everyone off the Ferris wheel, just them, to the top of the Ferris wheel, because that's how you escape. You trap yourself in a little cage on the top of a Ferris wheel. So after this genius plan has been executed, they're at the top of the Ferris wheel. And shit starts going down between him and Mia. I believe Mia wrote down his name.
You find out that she does not care at all.
Mia does not care about him at all. She just wants to kill people. And basically, Light, he's too soft. He won't kill his dad. He won't do this shit.
What a fucking beta cuck.
It's Mia's turn. Mia's turn. So she writes down his name. It's like, listen, Light, I got your name written down. If you don't, what'd she say? She wants him to do something. If you don't give me the death note,
Yes.
then I'm gonna kill you. Then I'll burn, because you can burn the paper.
Yeah, and it will.
For whatever reason, she's like, I'll burn your page. I'll save you if you give me the death note. And
literally, at this point, I fucking guessed the fucking ending so hard on this shit. I literally jokingly said, okay, he has her. So he's gonna write her shit in this. He has her shit written in a notebook somehow, or whatever. In a notebook, or whatever. And she's gonna fucking die. But the thing that I called the most was the fucking her page that has his name in it is gonna somehow magically fucking fall into some fire or whatever and fucking burn.
Yeah.
Well,
and here we go.
Turns out, it did.
Exactly what happened.
Also, about like a quarter into the movie, I said something because I had seen the Ferris wheel falling over in the commercials. I'm like, I bet what's gonna happen is he's gonna try to like kill her, but he's gonna be on the Ferris wheel too, like a dumbass, and then they're both gonna get fucked up.
That's the other fucked up thing about that, because she takes the note from him. He's like, listen, like, if you love me, you'll trust me, and she takes the note from him because she doesn't love him or trust him.
No,
and he's like, this Ferris wheel starts to fucking fall out, and he's like, fuck, and she's like, you wrote my name in here, and he's like, listen, it was only supposed to go off if you took the note. And I was like, you can fucking, he's like programming this shit, like he's writing fucking like, if else statements.
If else, if
Mia takes this, then this happens.
If Mia equals no, if the notebook equals taken, Mia died. else Mia lives.
That's another part where they broke the rules. Yeah. You write how they die.
Like you can fucking option select.
It's not with the statements and shit. It's not option. Okay, option A. Option select. Okay, so this happens. If that happens. Like, oh my god.
But, option select people's deaths with the shit.
And so anyway, the Ferris wheel falls down. He falls in the water. She dies. He gets saved by a guy who drags him out the water, and we fast forward to him in the hospital. Now, if you didn't think that scene was crazy enough, his explanation
for how this shit happened,
why everything happened, is great.
What a contrived.
Correct me if I missed anything along the way.
Okay.
But basically, Light, he option selected. He said that if she takes the note, she'll die, and he basically wrote in this death note that once the Ferris wheel starts to fall, once he falls, the note with his name on it will fall into a barrel of fire. Fall into some fire.
He also has the power to mind control paper too.
Even though they were on the same cart, she'll fall on the dock
on the ground
and die.
Splat.
But he'll fall in the water. And then a random fisherman Joe, not really, a pedophile, I believe was his joke, which makes it okay. This pedophile will save him out of the water.
The pedophile is supposed to find the death note and bring it to him.
There's two.
Yeah.
He's supposed to find the death note. What was the other guy for?
He was a fucking, he was a doctor who's, apparently a great doctor, but he's also, a rapist or something.
All right. I knew there were two. I didn't remember which one was one. So this rapist doctor saves him out of the water. He drags him out of the water. The other guy gets the death note.
And brings it to him.
While he's in the fucking hospital. And this is where his dad confronts him and says, I didn't believe it was you before, but now I know because my wife's murderer died.
Yeah.
Basically, to sum it all up.
I found the newspaper of my wife's murder.
And then,
so therefore it's you.
And then, and the whole ending was really bad, I thought, just because, there was always a controversy of kind of like what you were explaining is, does L win? Does Light win? How many people will be mad if this happens? How many people will be mad if this happens? Do we make them both win? Both lose?
Yeah.
They chose nothing. Basically,
no win.
Light doesn't die. L doesn't die.
There's a fucking cliffhanger for here. That no movie 2 ? Netflix movie?
And that is the thing. It was made for another movie, which will not be made.
Which will not be made.
It may actually.
I don't.
Watching it.
There's no way.
I mean, because it's not even it doesn't matter how many people like it or hate it. If people fucking watched it on Netflix, it's still get revenue from it anyways.
But here's the thing: a lot of people watch Fast and Furious knowing it's shit, right?
Yeah.
But they also know they're going to come back to watch another one because even though it's shit, it has some a lot of redeeming properties.
I feel like
this one is not. People are not going to watch the second one. That's the thing.
Maybe
people like us will. and some people will.
I feel like with Netflix, it makes it much easier for your movie to just be a flop and still a success. It's weird, but like, because like if this was in theaters, no one would have.
Well, that is the thing. All the money's going to Netflix. Yeah. You know, they made it, and it's on their platform.
But this is something where it's like people are already paying for Netflix, so they're like, yeah, fuck, I got an hour, I'll watch it. So it's got a lot of watches off of it. It's not that great, true. But I mean, I had a random coworker at my workplace ask me like, hey, also, you know what Death Note is? Do you want to? Have you seen it? I'm like, yeah, dog, you should watch it. Another small, just real quick, another small like continuity error at the end, which is where Mia at some point she all the agents that are following them, like the fucking Ray Pember squad or whatever, all of them that are following them, Light's like, I don't want to kill them, they're all cops. And Mia's like, fuck it, I'll do it. And so she takes a page and kills them. But she writes this like really like, I forgot. The way that she gets the info and all that shit, which I don't know how she had access to it, but like the way she gets the info, she like makes it so it's like they all like fucking get together and do this fucking like Abbey Road walk off a building and kill each other. Oh yeah. And but like when you see when Elle finds her page that has all the cop names on it, they're literally just fucking scribbled in there. Like there's no like writing of like they're gonna do this shit. It's just their names, like just kind of scribbled in.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say
so like hey,
whatever. They all have a fucking building.
Decided to jump off the roof.
Yeah, that's just how they had to do it, you know.
Also,
hey, fucking... I mean, it is fucking dealers, you know.
Yeah, so
it's like, interesting. All these guys, interesting humans, can go over here to this building and walk to the top and jump off and die.
I just like the idea of Ryuk just calling every human
interesting. Yeah, interesting humans. Oh wow, that's very interesting human.
But yeah, any other like we've kind of just gone over most things.
Yeah, how long have we been going on for?
About an hour, I think.
It's been about but I mean, is there any other like little things that you just remembered?
There's too many, you know. This is coming out a little later, so I've had a lot of time to think about the details of these movies. Can
I say real fast that my video that I put up of the Death Note scene has got way more fucking views now?
That's such a fucking meme.
Just fucking 9 likes and 11 dislikes.
Check out Dr.
Hey, listen, it's an official scene from Death Note. Official by the studio, okay? It was left out, it was cut out, okay?
Probably the best
scene. It was the most emotional scene in the entire show, which was Watchery singing a song for Elle. Elle says, hey, sing me a song, you fucker. And he goes... Suicide going.
Don't spoil it.
Oh, so yeah.
They gotta hear it.
So yeah, it's a good scene. Check it out. It's a very good scene.
Look up YouTube Dr. Phantasma.
Check it out.
It's really good. Yeah, that scene was a meme, but also like the L's like fucking sleep glasses that he has to wear.
There are so many things, everything like little things that we shouldn't even bring up.
Yeah,
but we could.
It's funny.
They're just noticeable.
Just like his future glasses that make him sleep.
They just blast his eyes with UV rays and put him to sleep.
For whatever reason, Light's house was a Tim Burton house next to a train.
Yeah.
That just went off all the time and was noisy. Just so many little things like that.
Oh, the photo of Light at the end where Elle is like considering whether or not to write Light's name on the
yeah.
And he like looks up and it's like the photo and like Mia's like flipping off the camera and like
the most
hateable fucking
the most punchable faces ever. It's something like
this guy could have been a great actor and I would still want to punch him in the face.
I would punch this kid in the face so hard.
Especially if he was with a girl that hot. But yeah, I think we could talk about this for a really long time.
The blooper reel also fucked me up. That in the credits, like they have a blooper reel that comes on, which is a thing you do for comedy movies.
I was just gonna say that's like a real we had fun making this and look at the look at Jack Black and why he
behind the scenes comedy Jack Black.
But this thing,
I think it was just another way for fucking Adam Wingard, because he's like the master of like deflecting. Like I didn't even try. Like it was supposed to be that way. It's all supposed to be fucking ironic and cool. And like I'm pretty sure it's just another way for him to deflect, to just be like, nah, man. I mean, it wasn't even like we were like trying to make a cool dark movie.
We were hanging out at the set. Okay, we were getting bullies from the girl the whole time. Dog. We were just hanging out, having fun. Fuck you guys for watching our movie.
It was a party, bro.
It was a party. We're getting lit, dog. Fuck you.
Also, the cinematographer, since you guys liked him, I looked him up and he did all the prequels. He was like the cinematographer for the Star Wars prequels.
That's funny.
That's funny. It's kind of funny.
It looks like
it's not that bad actually.
Yeah, visually the movie looks pretty okay.
Yeah,
I mean, other than
this has some good. This has some good color like choices like in certain scenes.
Yeah,
but like other than that, it was just like fucking.
Yeah, but I think we should give it a score.
Okay.
I think let's go around. Let's what do you give Death Note, the live action Netflix movie? Out of 10.
So if we're going based off of like the way that I rate anime, I think it was
system.
Yeah, my system, my ASMEF system.
I had not seen that till last night.
Yeah, you should watch it. You should. I know Dylan has some of the VODs of me going over my anime list and talking about all these scores, but like there's a few up already on Twitch, but I would say for this type of thing, it falls probably somewhere in the range of like a 3 for me. Yeah. Because like I said, like number one, it's just really fucking inconsistent. So like concept and plot is like just egregiously bad. Yeah. It doesn't know if it wants to be like a true adaptation or like if it just wants to be
something.
Like its own thing. So it like tries to do both and it doesn't make any sense. Like visually, it looks pretty good. Also, the characters are all ass. Visually, it looks pretty good. Yeah. The audio is not like great by any. It's a fucking like it's Adam Wingard's like classic like I'm gonna throw 80s synth on this shit. Yeah. So it seems more like self-aware than it actually is. And so, oh my God. But it's pretty bad. And then enjoyment factor is probably the only like real other than the visuals, like the only redeeming quality to it. It's really fucking funny, especially if you're like a big fan of Death Note, and you can just point out like the dumb shit that they try and do and like the differences. Like,
I'd give it like a 1 if I hadn't seen Death Note. It'd be like nothing would be that funny to me.
Yeah, that's a good point. For people who have not seen Death Note, this must be a fucking trip, dog. Because Ryuk just shows up and he's like, "Yeah, you have the Death Note now.
Kill him, get him, boy, get him."
It doesn't explain where Ryuk is from. It doesn't explain like he says I'm a Shini, or he's like I'm a god of death like one time, and then. But yeah, it must have been like I don't know how people would have fucking understood what was going on if you hadn't already seen Death Note. Yeah. But yeah, I put it in a 3 based solely off the fact that it's like enjoyable. It's like a meme movie that I would probably watch again with like friends.
I'd watch drunk.
Yeah, to make fun of it. But yeah, it's
my score for it, like, because the thing that I care about most in like any entertainment, like, I usually tend to look at characters more above everything else, and then beyond that, like, I look at shit like. Obviously, sort of like the plot and like, for me, atmosphere is a big part of anime too. I mean, and just obviously, if it's animation,
it's got a great atmosphere. Great.
Yeah, atmosphere. Yeah, my boy.
Very Spencer's.
But like,
Spencer's Gibson.
The characters are so fucking ass. The story is resident fucking ass. Not really. I mean, there's not a memorable music score at all. It's fucking 80s bullshit. Yeah. It's just like it's but just
the techno chase.
That's the only part I remember at all.
There's that song in the dance.
I forgot. The music in the show is so off. Like it's so like poorly placed. It is so.
The opening music was really.
Also, Wataru's song is a banger. He sings a banger.
Wataru's song is really good. Check out YouTube Dr. Phantasma.
But like above everything else, the enjoyment factor is a fucking 10 out of 10 IGN. Yeah. Everything else sucks. So I mean, it's like I guess you would balance it all out. Like if let's say that there's like 5 arbitrary fucking categories. Everything's a 0 except for the fucking enjoyment factor. So it's a 2 out of 10. There you go.
And I also will say, like, us saying we enjoyed it does not mean that this is like a film that is good.
No, it's just fucking funny.
And Adam Wingard would have you believe that. Like, he's like, well, if you enjoyed it, then it's good, right?
Like, however, us saying we enjoyed it, I believe. Consensus, we could all say that we recommend it.
Yes.
I recommend it. What was your score?
A 2.
3-2.
I will give it a 3 as well. Pretty much everything I have to say is repeating what they said. Really inconsistent shit, and it's just funny, dog. That's pretty much all I can say.
It belongs in the special category of movies like 7 Days of Heaven. Like fucking.
I was trying to compare it to other movies. It's really hard to compare.
Konnichiwa.
You cannot compare it to other movies. Yeah. It's truly its own unique thing. So, despite us talking about a live action movie, this is an anime podcast.
Anime.
And we will be talking about anime. So we're gonna talk about what we're gonna watch next.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to do this at a consistent time schedule. I'm not gonna say anything now because we don't know. This is the first one, but hopefully we can have you guys will know when something's coming out, and we can all watch it and get through that because but yeah, basically it could be anything. The next thing we watch can be anything. It could be something new. It could be something old. It could be a classic. As long as we can watch the whole thing now and tell you guys about it,
so
it qualifies.
I think what we're gonna go ahead and do is just so we each have like our own.
We've not told each other.
Yeah, we've not told each other our picks for the next thing that we want to discuss. So we're gonna watch and discuss. So I guess we'll just kind of go down the line, give our picks, and then we'll vote on it. We should be able to come to a fair consensus. I think the rule should be you can't vote for your own, probably. No, that's shitty. Well, no, because I don't know.
We have not talked about that.
Oh, yeah, we haven't talked about it enough. Okay.
I think
the rule should be you can't vote for your own. Yeah. You have to vote for one of the other two.
I think also if yours doesn't get voted in, you have to wait at least 1 week to vote it in. So if I offer one on the table and we don't vote it in, I can't do it next week.
You can't spam it. Okay.
I can do it the next week after that. I can wait 2 weeks. But anyway, not to complicate this thing too much.
So
Doc, what's your pick?
Okay, so my pick is ReZero, and I think each one should give a little spiel on
I already downloaded that.
Yeah. So the reason I think ReZero would be a really good one is I think there's a lot of talking points with that show. It's not super long. It's a 24 episode show or 25 episode. But it has a lot of talking points, a lot of different like shit we can get into. And I felt like it was mostly high praise, but like felt like it was kind of divisive. There were some people, and I think Arcus is going to be our guest next week, probably. I would imagine if he's down.
We're gonna do a guest every week, or just?
I would like to whenever. If we can, but like if no one's up for it, then like you know what I mean.
Yeah. A lot of these will be on Skype, so
yeah, so it'll make it easier. But I know Arcus didn't like ReZero that much, so I think it'll be kind of interesting to like have him give his take. But I really think it's just like a sort of a isekai show that takes a really different approach on the genre and gets real dark, and there's a lot of shit to talk about with it, so I like it as my choice.
Alright.
My recommended shit is fucking School Live. A fucking random ass fucking zombie show that came out.
Oh, is that Guko? What is that?
Guko.
Fucking girl zombie. Little girl zombie.
It's I recommend it just for the sake of because there's a few points where like there's a lot of times I'm watching a show. I have an idea, kind of like at a certain point where I'll be like, okay, I kind of tell how I'm gonna rate this show already, you know. Mm-hmm. I can tell a show is gonna be an 8 show or like a 7 show, you know, it's a difference. Yeah. But like this was a show that kind of took me a couple places because it was just like I didn't know what I wanted to rate it to it initially. Like I'd watch it and I'd be like, oh, this show. I mean, at first seemed kind of cliche, kind of doing the whole dark, cute thing together, kind of whatever. But then I was like, okay, but it's kind of just a normal 7, you know. It's just it's a good show. It's not bad. And then there would be a moment where I was like, someone really fucking pissed me off. I don't know, it'd be a fucking sick show. And then there'd be a moment where like, okay, that was gas. All right, that actually was like a really good character development moment. That character I really liked the character a lot in that moment. This is a fucking 8. And then there was kind of this overall kind of coming back together, kind of rating like where I ended up rating it at 7. Yeah. But like, I don't know, it kind of took me in a few places on.
I saw a few episodes of that. It is very like it's an interesting concept. So I'll say that. But yeah. Shelby?
So I'm kind of in a situation where it's kind of cool because whatever I watch is probably going to be new. But it's also hard because I don't know what to suggest. So I chose something that I've heard a lot about, Spice and Wolf. And I don't think. Have you watched it?
I have. Yeah.
That's a show that's one of many shows.
I didn't think so.
That's one of many shows that fit into a genre of shows that I added on my list back in like 10th grade of high school and never actually watched. it's like a show I watched. That's actually like I was like, oh yeah, like Code Geass. Like these are shows I added forever ago, and it was like these are classics. You need to watch them, but I never did. Like I don't know.
That was
being me is like. I've watched a lot of like lists on YouTube, right? Obviously, getting into it, trying to figure out what I watch, and I see that one a lot as one you should watch that people suggest you should watch. It's 12 episodes, and I don't have any info on it. other than...
There's a season 2 as well.
Yeah.
And no season 3, RIP.
That's a bit maybe people
that show is this is a good time to bring this up. So when I refer to a Kenny anime later, you'll know what it means. But basically, I have a friend Kenny, and Kenny has a very specific taste in anime where it's like there's just certain shows that give off this like aura of like they're kind of high-handed or like have like a high concept.
And they're talking about exactly
like the best 2 examples I can give are Baccano and Spice and Wolf. They're like the top 2 Kenny anime. They have like they're usually period pieces.
Those are mostly my favorite kind of shows.
It's kind of like high concept. So yeah, Spice and Wolf is the Kenny anime.
All right,
but yeah.
What was yours again? What was it called?
School Live.
I heard about it.
Gakko Garashi, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
School Live.
So I will go ahead. I'll cast my vote first. So I cannot vote for my own. I will vote for one of your 2. I feel like I would have more to discuss with Spice and Wolf.
Yeah.
So I'll pick Spice and Wolf.
I'm picking ReZero.
Okay.
I can't pick yours because like that puts us in a bind. Oh wait, but I can't pick mine, so that means we have to watch ReZero. Unless I want it to end in a 3-way tie.
Debated.
I think if it ends in a 3-way tie, we should like flip or something for it.
I think ReZero would be a good one, just because like it's recent enough that it's like it still has some relevancy, but it's not like super old.
Yeah. We can watch.
It's also a show I like, so
we can watch ReZero. I already have it downloaded. So.
All right. Sounds good. So
sounds good.
Next episode will be ReZero. I'm sure we can find a guest, if not Arcus, somebody who's already either seen it or wants to watch it.
Yeah.
But dope, yeah. So I mean, more than likely, if we don't get another one out within a couple of weeks, we'll probably it'll start to be we're gonna Twitch stream these. I think.
Twitch stream them, yeah, that'd be a good idea.
And then just like do it over Skype because I'm gonna be moving back to California, so I won't be here anymore. But we'll be able to like stream the actual like live recording of it, and then we can like put it on YouTube later. So I think so to prepare yourself for next episode, watch ReZero.
Watch ReZero. Watch it, you
so you can understand what we're talking about. Because I feel like we should just advise that we'll spoil whatever.
Yeah.
Like
that we're not even gonna. It's not even gonna be in the title.
Yeah.
Okay. Just when you click on this channel, all right. Just don't be an idiot. Okay?
Just know it's spoiled.
If you haven't watched the scene, if you're watching spoiler shit, fuck off.
Fuck off.
Really?
Fuck off.
Come on, man.
Fuck.
Anyway,
fuck.
Thank you for joining us on our not anime podcast.
Ironic.
You want to tell where they can find you?
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at I Hate Card Games. My screen name is Black L, so that's a good indicator that's me. You can follow or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel I Hate Card Games, which is a dead meme.
Don't expect daily upload.
Daily upload.
Don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath for the next upload. I will. I'm not retiring that channel at all. I will get back to it, but watch what's there. I mean, there's like fucking 20 vids at least, and they're all. I think they're good. And what else? I don't think I have anything else to promote right now, but yeah.
I also subscribe. I do them on Twitch. Twitch.tv/I Hate Card Games.
Oh yeah, Twitch.tv/I Hate Card Games.
You can figure it out.
I forgot about that. Yeah, usually streaming.
He's an affiliate, so you can subscribe to him if you want to. You don't get anything out of it, but you can.
Yeah, usually streaming like Hearthstone, and I streamed recently. If you're an anime fan, I've been streaming me going over my anime list and rescoring everything based off of like how I feel about them objectively. So there's still some VODs up if you want to watch those, or whatever. I'm sure I'll release them at some point, maybe on this channel or whatever later. Once we get those edited to a watchable format.
You find me in your girl's room giving her that long dick, aka twitter.com/Dr. Phantasma.
Bring your kids to watch the show.
Bring your kids to watch the show. This is a family vehicle, family talk. But yeah, Twitch.tv/Dr. Phantasma. I don't stream anymore, but I will eventually when I get to a place where I have a good enough internet to do it, because streaming is hella fun. And also have a YouTube channel. I think it's youtube.com/user or users/Dr. Usoda or some shit like that. I don't fucking remember. I can't change it until I get at least 10k views. So I won't let me change it.
Really grinded those up.
Literally can't change it until I get 10k views.
I didn't know that.
So I'm pretty close. I'm not that far away from, but I mean. But anyways, yeah, that's where I'm most of my content. I'm Yeah, just fucking follow me there.
I'm assuming we'll post like links to shit in the
and also
description.
Yeah, we're gonna put this podcast up on its own channel as its own individual thing. Patreon.
But yeah, if you're into like avant-garde meme type shit, avant-garde meme type shit, Dr. P is your guy.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter, Shell Cooked.
Not a huge online presence.
No, to be honest,
he's logged off.
I don't own a computer yet.
He's building it though.
I've been offline for a while.
We can build it.
But y'all might see more. I might have more to promote someday.
In the near future, hopefully.
Let's just say that there are changes coming in the North-verse right now.
You guys are starting to watch this at a great time. So, thank you very much again for watching, and we will catch you
on the flip side.